speaking to someone who's playing MVP caliber basketball right now, that would be Bradley Beal. Guys, he has been a man amongst boys. He dropped 35, 5, and 4 against Houston. Bradley Beal leads the NBA in scoring, yet the Wizards have the worst record in the NBA. And many have wondered about the possibility of Washington trading him. Max, so if they were to deal Beal, what do you think would be the best situation for him?
The Bucks, or at least that's the team I think that needs them the most to put them over the top. I say this religiously on this show, as Stephen A. would say. Stephen A., your assessment of Giannis several years ago, hey, in the playoffs, he's going to play like a big, was right on the money. That's exactly what happened. Credit where it's due. But what does that mean about Giannis? It means we can't really judge him based on the way we judge the perimeter players, because the history of the NBA has always been, in the modern era, if you're a great big and you want to win a championship, you better have a great non-big who's just as good as you, more or less, who's on that level in order to win a championship. I mean, the couple times it happened, like Hakeem did it because Jordan was out of the league. So he was going up against Patrick Ewing with no help, right? Or Shaq, who had Penny but did not have Kobe or Wade. You better have a dude who's on your level, who's not a big, who can go get his own shot, who can create all of that. Kareem had Oscar and Magic, won 6 chips, 1-0 without them. Shaq, I just said Penny wasn't even enough. Had Wade and Kobe, of course, 4 chips, none without them. A great big needs another great player, especially a perimeter player, who's great. Drew Holiday is excellent. I like Drew Holiday a lot. Stephen A., that's not him. Drew Holiday, look, had AD. AD had Drew Holiday. They didn't do anything. Drew Holiday is a fantastic player. He's not what I'm talking about. And so is Middleton, and he's not what I'm talking about. Bradley Beal, I think, qualifies, particularly when you see what he can do this season. When the handcuffs are off, when he's getting a lot of touches. Bradley Beal, if he's not it, is the next thing to it, is what the Bucks need to put them over the top. And I think that's the team that should be most interested in him.
I don't mind that pick at all, Max Kellerman, but before I give you mine, let me say a couple of things, y'all, for the purposes of just my NBA connections in this show. Bradley Beal is a star. He deserves better than what he's getting in the nation's capital. I like Scott Brooks. I'm very, very fond of Tommy Shepard, who's now the GM, and he's running basketball operations for them. I like Tommy. I wish him nothing but the best. He's a good dude, and he knows basketball. He was in our business, you know, in terms of media relations and communications and all that stuff in Denver years ago. But he's a great, great guy, and I'm happy for him, and I wish him nothing but the best. But the Washington Wizards at this particular moment in time are atrocious. They are horrible, and it's primarily because of their defense. Last year, they gave up 119 points per game, if I remember correctly, and I think they were ranked like second to last. This year, they're second to last, but they're giving up 120 points. Bradley Beal was quoted over a week ago, Max, saying, "We can't stop a parked car. We can't guard a parked car."
That's a good quote.
That's how bad he described their defense, okay? And if you saw him, and Molly, it's one of those things, and you reading body language as adroitly as you can do it, just go back and watch the video of Bradley Beal on the bench, just shaking his head and his hands are fidgety and all of that stuff. That is the sign of someone, Max and Molly, who's about to lose it. They can't take it anymore, okay? That's
Absolutely.
where he's at. Tommy Shepard, Scott Brooks, you got to get Bradley Beal up out of there. He's a tremendous asset, but you got to get him up out of there. And Russell Westbrook, I just feel sorry for him because even though you're averaging 18 and 10, you shooting like 30-something% from the field, 30% from three-point range. Love Russell Westbrook, the offensive juggernaut that he can be, but damn, you got to go out there and get a better perimeter shot, and he just hasn't had that all of these years. With all of that being said, even though I don't disagree with you about the Bucks, Max, I tell you, if there's any way the Clippers could get themselves Bradley Beal to pair with Paul George and Kawhi Leonard, you do it, because I think that's their chance of coming out of the West. You understand? Before, when we think about Giannis, why are we thinking about what pieces he needs? Because we talk about winning the chip, right? Well, how could the Clippers possibly position themselves to win the chip? by getting somebody like Bradley Beal. With a Paul George, with a Kawhi Leonard, Lord have mercy. That could potentially be special because I'm here to tell you, I don't know what the hell's going on with the Clippers. They've been winning games, but they've been winning games with Ty Lue basically not playing Lou Williams that much. I can't believe what I'm seeing. Lemon Pepper Lou, Sweet Lou. I expect the brother to, this brother can drop buckets with the best of them. I expected to see more. Something's going on there. I never liked the Luke Kennard pickup. I know he can shoot the ball and all of that stuff, but he just doesn't, it doesn't work for me with him with the Clippers. I just don't like it. I'm not calling him out. I just don't like that pairing. You know what I'm saying? When I think about Bradley Beal with a Paul George and a Kawhi Leonard, the Clippers, we can sit up there and talk about how they be a threat to the Lakers all we want. They ain't beating no damn Los Angeles Lakers. It's presently constructed. They are not getting past the Los Angeles Lakers. They get Bradley Beal to pair with Kawhi and Paul George. I'm not saying it could happen, but if they were lucky enough to pull that off, we got a different story to tell. Right.
That would be my second destination for him would be the Clippers. And the thing about him on the Clippers, which they have no draft picks left because they had to spend it all on Paul George. But if somehow, in some way, that could be arranged, what they would have in common with the Nets, they'd have a legit big three. And the crazy thing about that big three, just like the Nets, they can all three get their own shots and score from anywhere. And that is, I don't know if that's ever happened before until the Nets, and then it would happen again with the Clippers. Yeah, Bradley Beal is a balance of power kind of player in the NBA if he's on the move right now.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.